Hey, Ryan.
Yeah.
Nothing to it but to do it. With the muffler Ryan Bruckner, I'm Mike Big Tobacco Ryan. That was my intro. Welcome to another edition of Squared Circle Cinema, a discussion of film and television featuring professional wrestlers.
Sometimes made for TV films.
But we'll get to that later. If you're listening to this as it drops, it's a Monday, but we are recording on a Thursday night, heading right into the weekend. So exciting times here on our end. So mea culpa for all you listening on a Monday as this drops. And this ain't going anywhere. I'm sorry. I was just freaking out mere moments ago, man. Just having a panic attack. I was struggling with the Zoom H4n recorder for about an hour, it felt like.
And the Wi-Fi. You couldn't connect to the Wi-Fi, even though all you had to do was hit connect on
I'm not going to lie.
laptop.
I try never. I do lie to you, but I try not to, okay? Regularly. Let me tell you something, man. I was about 5 minutes away from actually having a legitimate breathe into a paper bag, breakdown, panic attack kind of mode. I was about 5 minutes away.
Oh, I know.
It's usually a combination of things.
If things don't go well, you freak out.
But a combination of things, usually. Or is it, I wasn't thinking rationally mere moments ago, and that affected my intro, and I'm sorry. You deserve better. Really, you do. But I get here, boom, H4n's not working. I try to switch over to a new format so we can isolate each audio levels, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to contribute for once, to the technical side of this podcast. And I was kind of tinkering a little bit, and that totally put a glitch in the entire platform to where we couldn't even sync up our own. I don't look. I could go into detail of
who knows what this even
talk.
sounds like now.
I'm sure it's fine.
A total mess.
But that was something I was struggling with, right? And then the Wi-Fi went down, kind of, and I just couldn't even.
It did not go down.
It didn't go down at all. But my laptop had an exclamation point on the Wi-Fi signal, and it wasn't one of those, like, get excited exclamation points. It was like, freak out time exclamation point. I'm like, Ryan, now the internet's down. What the hell's going on? And I couldn't think. I couldn't focus on anything. I couldn't figure out myself, like, all right, let's just turn off, disconnect to the Wi-Fi, and then reconnect. But, thank you for coming over here and just taking care of me. Coddling me, man.
And
saying,
what did we talk about while all this was happening?
That's the thing. And I thought, all right, Wi-Fi is down. H4n isn't working. Zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
We're going down. And that's how I react in that scenario. No wonder everybody I know thinks I'm a liability in these zombie apocalyptic scenarios, man. Everyone. 100% of my friends do not want me around during a zombie apocalypse.
I would have no problem killing you.
Don't you dare.
I would shoot you right in the head on sight.
Wow.
Because you would be the cause of my death.
I would be a liability.
You are a liability. You would come over and be like, Ryan, I'm here to help any way I can. And I'd be like, great. And I'd shoot you right in the back of the head. Man.
Okay,
cool. It's good to see you.
Oh, so you...
Boom.
Oh, that's very sweet. So I would go out on a high note at least. I'd like, I'm here to contribute. I'd be like, awesome. So much. We were waiting for you because you were like the final piece to the puzzle of safety.
Go out to the garage. There's some supplies I need you to get.
You would shoot me in the back of the head.
Right in the back of the head, so you wouldn't even know.
That's the sweetest way someone could shoot someone in the back of the head.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it any other way. If you would tell me, like, no, you'd be all like, you turn all Bruce Willis on me. I'd be like, you know what, just get it over with, you dick. Just shoot me already.
I would treat you like...
Why do you have to make a scene out of it?
A dog that has rabies or
Thanks.
something. And no, go ahead. Keep walking. Keep
Mike,
go,
there's
boy.
some
go get the...
There's some food rations out there in the corner. Just keep walking.
Yeah. And then I would butcher you, and I would preserve your ass meat in my deep freezer.
How can you shoot a Mike? Ryan, it's easy. You just don't lead him as much. You jerk. Look, I would sacrifice... There you go. That's my contribution. My carcass.
Yeah.
You can feed your son and your wife on my body and survive another 48 to 72 hours.
Yeah.
Great.
We could ration that. We could make a good stew, baby.
You're welcome.
We got some bones, some
All right.
Mike bones,
You've
make a
been-
good broth.
All right, you got cannibalized, bro. You know, like you do. Do you want yourself to taste good?
Do I want myself to taste good?
Do you want the person eating you to have a relatively pleasurable experience in that at least?
It's really on that person. Are they a good cook? How are they going to prepare me? What cut of my body are they going to be eating? It's really on them. I mean, like a Wagyu steak, yeah, a lot went into making that taste delicious.
What's a Wagyu steak?
It's, like the Kobe beef where they like live a beautiful life and drink beer and get massages, and then they have the marbled fat.
Wagyu steak every time I go to Norm's, man. That makes me drip.
Why you get that steak?
You still don't know? Yeah. It's been a long time since I haven't had the Norm's porterhouse steak in my 30s. And that's true.
No way.
It's true. I can't say the same thing for the pork chop there.
Well, what about that steak you ordered from that pizza place that you had delivered to your house?
Yeah. That was in my 30s. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like 30 or 31.
Probably better to get that Norm steak than get a steak delivered to you.
You've never had foil wrap steak from a pizza place? Does it travel well? How would you like your steak prepared?
From what
Medium rare.
From what I heard, it didn't.
It kind of cooked on the ride a little.
Did you get the shits or anything from that?
No.
The juice probably spilled in that guy's
fortunate.
hot bag.
I'm pretty fortunate that my body can tolerate some really atrocious foods, except for cheeses lately. Cheeses I'm struggling with.
What kind of cheeses are you getting?
Cheese in general.
But like you shop exclusively at the 7-Eleven down the street. Like that cheese, like the fake cheese?
No. Just any
taco
cheese.
rolls.
7-Eleven now has these protein skewers. It's just all chicken and teriyaki sauce, and there's also a sriracha one. I get them. I get them because I can't do cheese. I have to avoid cheese.
So you just
really
you
is
can
awful.
just avoid food from hot food from 7-Eleven.
What do you mean?
You could avoid that.
You
live, Mike. Like it really pains me a lot.
Oh,
because
don't.
You live in the culinary hotbed of Los Angeles. You live in K-Town. The best food in all of LA.
Yeah, and I've had most of it.
Walking distance from your apartment. I'm sure there's great markets that you could go to.
Yeah, I'm going to go right into a Korean barbecue table for one. Great idea.
There's got to be some quick service places that you can go to.
I get a lot of pho. Pho to me seems like an okay place to go by yourself.
But, I mean, you could even go to a grocery store or like a quick place to get takeout.
All right, do you honestly think, because I'm offended now.
If I lived where you lived, I would make it work. I would never even set foot in that 7-Eleven.
Okay, good for you. You know what? I go to grocery stores. I buy groceries. I go to John's on Vermont, and I ration out salads for the week at work. I don't go to 7-Eleven every day. I eat Greek yogurt with frickin' blackberry Muirs for breakfast.
Yeah, but you also get the protein skewers.
I'm just saying, I go to 7-Eleven now. I get and now you picture
somebody
me doing
was
that every day.
Hey, Ryan, do you want to get a protein skewer at 7-Eleven? I'd be like, no, I'd rather continue to live for 30 more years.
Why would I ever ask you that? That's something you do alone and you don't tell anybody. If we're together, we're going to a nice restaurant.
Well,
I've stepped foot into a Ruth's Chris before, okay?
You told all 17 of our listeners.
Yeah.
So now they know your routine.
And we love you, God damn it. At least I do. Can I get back to speaking of listening?
Okay.
Can I get back to something you did, you bastard, last week? I almost want you to edit this up and play the clip. Maybe I shouldn't even expose it because I was such an idiot. Do I have a problem with listening? Sometimes. Am I working on it? I say I am. Am I really? Yeah.
Wasn't that part of your acting? Isn't part of acting listening?
Gosh,
Didn't they make you do that in your acting class? Was that part of?
Sadly, no. That would have been no. Yeah, sadly, no. Because yeah, you're right. It's a huge component. It was a lot of throwing. So you deliver your line and then you throw a ball, and that kind of puts you in a vulnerable position. I know I say that word all the time, but that's the word he used. Of like, oh man, everything I'm throwing everything at you, and now my arms are out because I just threw a ball two-handed, and I'm awaiting your response. But that is a physical thing. It's not really listening. It's like, this is what my body does while I'm listening to you, awaiting to speak again. So no, there wasn't an actual. And it seems easy, right? Listening seems you just shut your mouth and just stare.
It's easy unless we're doing a podcast.
Exactly.
And then you just get in mic mode.
Oh man, because you said you were quoting. It was in our Hulk Hogan segment, and you were quoting
the article.
I don't know what it was. I don't remember. I wasn't really listening.
Article about Linda Hogan,
Linda Boleacentric, and they put her age in the article. Linda Boleacentric, 58, and you're like, what? That's not. What's the point of that?
Yeah.
I mean, would you like that if they did that to you? You know, Mike Ryan, 42, and I just jumped in with like, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Like the first thing I say is that's true.
You're not 42?
Was not even listening one bit, you bastard. I'm 35, and I hold on to every one of those years.
You're 35?
35 years old. Okay.
You don't look a day over 47.
Just play the clip.
Okay, so this is from The Guardian. WWE star Hulk Hogan's ex-wife is demanding he pay her 40% of his earnings or be held in contempt of court. Linda Boleacentric, 58. Why do they always have to say your age after they say your name? Like, what if you just want to be low-key about your age, and now they're going to be like, Mike Ryan, 42.
That's true.
Well, yeah, you totally botched that. Congratulations.
Well, here's something there's no way in hell I'm going to botch. Okay.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's time for my segment match of the month.
Well, what the hell was that? Did you pay for that?
Thank you, Sawtooth Wave, for my new supercharged intro. Check out sawtoothwave.com for all Chris Cordero's incredible music. Saw_tooth_wave on Instagram. I got new intro music, man, and I'm pretty pumped about it. And now I'm like, maybe that was a bad idea because I don't want to talk about this match from Fully Loaded 98.
So you actually like had somebody record your intro music, dude, but you're only just playing it out of your phone speakers?
It's time for Mike's match of the month. Match of the month. Match of the month. I overeat at dinner when I skip lunch. Match of the month.
No, you idiot. I'm going to send you the audio file, and then you're going to play it.
Well, all the other times you always just played it out of your phone speaker and never sent me shit.
Okay. Well, I will this time. Thank you, Sawtooth Wave.
We'll see if you remember.
He is incredible, really. I'm sorry. But, like, I was just like, dude.
That's like
he did that in like 2 hours.
That's like a radio.
I sent him my version.
Yeah. He should
and
do,
I was like,
he could do jingles on the side.
Play, okay, this is the jingle. Here's the intro. Here's the outro. Do it like Bob Seger. And then I get this like the next day. I was
you said Bob Seger?
Yeah.
Why Bob Seger?
Because that her strut was on randomly, so I wasn't trying to, and it kind of spoke to me.
Very Bob Seger-esque.
Totally, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks, Chris.
Well,
I bring you a match.
So now let's listen to Doink versus
bring you a match that was held 20 years ago to the date that I watched it, which is July 23rd, 1998. WWF Fully Loaded took place in Fresno, California, but the match on the card that I'm referring to took place in Calgary.
Are you talking about the dungeon match?
Calgary, Alberta, Canada. In Stu
Ken
Hart's
Shamrock versus Owen Hart?
just a square room and a green roll-up wrestling mat. Man.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
I blew it on Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and now I don't want to continue.
You've blown it many a time.
Ooh, boy.
Today.
All right. That was submission match. Okay, this was a submission match between Owen Hart and Ken Shamrock with Dan Severn as a special guest referee, and he was just chilling, getting his lean on by a window like throughout the match, which is surprising to me that the dungeon had windows. Kind of ruins the allure. Anyway, open is a trade-off of arm and leg submission attempts. Great pace. Owen hits the wall like it were the ropes, probably like he had done 1,000 times before. You know, you just saw him as a kid just bouncing off these plywood wall or whatever, plank wood walls, you know, and just bouncing off like the ropes. You know, can you attribute that? Can't you just put yourself there and attribute that to his childhood, Ryan?
You should just fucking smile and blow me!
Spinning kick from Shamrock hits Severin, knocking him out.
Wait, Severn?
No.
What?
Just for that's fine.
What are you talking about?
I skipped ahead a little bit.
Oh,
Owen hits the wall like it were the rope. Okay, shoot punches in here, Ryan. This is a really brutal match. Owen hits a Hurricane Rana off a drain pipe. A lot of heads to the wall spot. The weight set and dumbbells become props. Thank God they only gave them 5 minutes. They were beating the living crap out of each other. You know, I don't think I gave enough attention to this match. I think I'm not really doing a good job of explaining it. Let's see. Oh, okay. Okay, just proves. Oh, here we go. Thank God they only gave them 5 minutes. They were beating the living crap out of each other. I do not remember it being this violent, which just proves I was already completely desensitized to violence and indecency on my television as a 15-year-old. God, shut up, Mike. No one gives a shit. What the fuck are you even talking about, you idiot? Okay. Spinning kick from Shamrock hits Severin, knocking him out. So just a regular ref would have served just fine for only one ref spot here. You know, not sure why they had to fly out Dan Severn. Owen nails Shamrock with a dumbbell, so there's props being involved here. There's a weight room in the dungeon after all. He forces Shamrock's head into the mat his hand into the mat in a tapping motion as Severn regains consciousness, right? Giving Owen the win by tap out, which was blatantly obvious finish because Severn obviously saw everything. So I'm thinking like, all right, this is kind of a botched spot. But then when they cut back to him after an in-ring promo, Dan Severn gives a little look to Ken Shamrock like, I knew all along. I knew I was getting worked. I just wanted to put Owen over on a former rival in the UFC. So it was a pretty good finish, I would say.
Great story, compelling and rich.
Close out the segment here.
Hope that you've enjoyed the segment. Match of the month, match of the month. Tree outside uprooted the pavement. Match of the month.
That's going to be rough for you to edit, man. I apologize. And then here you could close out the segment or something. I'll send you the clip.
Well, you're not going to play the clip?
I don't have it yet. He hasn't. He only sent me the intro. He actually just sent me the outro.
Oh, I hope he doesn't send you.
No, he sent it. I just don't have it queued up yet.
Oh.
But, you know, I will send it to you. You can edit this out and then just play that intro, right? You better. Don't make me look like an idiot.
Oh, I'll try really hard not to.
Anyway, how are you doing? I haven't really asked you that.
I don't know. How long have we been recording this?
Like 20 minutes.
47 minutes?
Feels like it.
As long as your age. Let's see. Well, since we've been recording that for like 27 minutes, I'll skip one of the segments I was going to do.
Dude, you could cut a lot of that, man. Seriously.
And
Was it a good segment?
You know, we were calling it Hogan's Corner, but
Yeah.
I think we should change the name to Hogan's Beach.
Get ready for everything you ever wanted to hear, know, and find out about Hulk Hogan, the greatest of all time.
There's always
Hulk
Hulk Hogan
Hogan
news, man. It's like he can't get himself out of the news.
There's more
these
news.
days.
Bring it. I can't wait to hear it.
Well, did you know that he was reinstated into the WWE Hall of Fame?
Yes,
And
I
he
did.
Did a big speech to all of the wrestlers.
Yes, I did. This is big news. This is news where like your non-wrestling fans come up to you and say like, "Hey, did you hear Hulk Hogan got reinstated?" Like this is everywhere.
So on July 15th, he tweeted, "Just met with the WWE superstars, and on all levels, the volume of love and support was overwhelming. I've been praying for this day, and I finally feel like I made it back home. Only love for the WWE universe, brother."
Wow.
HH.
Weren't there some walkouts though?
I know, like, I apparently people were saying Titus O'Neil walked out, but then he was saying like, no, that's just an
The
exaggeration.
New Day were like,
had to
we
go
can
make-"
move past this, but we're not happy.
They're like,
know?
we'll continue doing what we do, but it's not like we forgive him. And then Titus O'Neil was like, I wouldn't really even call what he did an apology. And you know what he really does is he totally makes it out like he's the victim.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
like, even in that tweet, he's just like, been praying for this day. The love and support was overwhelming. And
as
it's
if
like,
he was the victim, and he was
Yeah.
reinstated
I finally-
2 years later.
Yeah. I finally got past
Was it
all
2
those
years?
people that said I couldn't say the N-word, and now I can say it again in private all I
Pretty
want.
much. Was this documented at all? Like his speech?
Apparently
or
it
was a
was
closed
not
door meeting?
filmed.
Yeah.
But
I would be
then,
so curious to see that. But you're right, and that's because he's kind of a sociopath. Like
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
they say he's one of the more friendly wrestlers, and he approaches everything. That's because he needs everybody to like him, and God
Yeah,
forbid he does something
until he
wrong,
stabs
he
you in the
won't
back.
realize it.
And
Yeah,
then
he'll
he'll stab you in the back and be like, it wasn't me, brother.
He'll find a way, and I didn't hear the speech or read the transcript, but he has that kind of personality trait that like I'm the victim for making
Yeah.
a mistake.
Remember when his son like basically killed his friend in that street racing accident?
Of course.
And they had like a recorded phone conversation where they were like talking shit on the paralyzed guy, saying like, "Oh, he's a negative person.
Wow.
He has negative energy."
Well, yeah,
No
you
shit.
get that.
Yeah, you
that
get
kind
that.
of comes with the territory.
So then Brooke Hogan tweeted, "So proud of the true transformation of my father has made spiritually and as a human. None of us are perfect, but we can unlearn old things and learn new ways. Everyone's evolution is unique to them and God's timing. Thanks to the fans for the endless love. Round 2, here we come.
Round
Hashtag
2.
Hulkamania." So it's like,
How is this round 2? That was round 1?
it was a long ass
Wow.
round 1. But
That's longer than like a round in Rocky
so
3.
she's saying like this was all God's plan. God made him say that she can't date N-words.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
And,
but in her
and
defense,
now-
she's only 12.
No, she's like our age, man.
What?
She's at least like 30. And then after there was a bunch of backlash after all this happened. Which, you know what? He shouldn't have even been suspended from the Hall of Fame. Hulk Hogan should always be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
matter what he does.
Yeah.
You don't have to suspend him. We know you're going to put him back there anyway.
But are they
just
going-
don't employ him.
Are they going to put him back on television, do you think?
I think they want to.
I think
Because
it would
why?
be
Why else would
huge
they?
ratings get?
Why else would they have him talk to the roster?
Right.
But
In fact, when I first read about it, I actually thought like, oh, Hogan was on Raw? Oh, man.
I think the right thing to do is to just not work with him, but still make him part of the history because he's arguably the most important figure in wrestling history.
Yeah.
But so there was backlash, and then Brooke
Yeah, why? But that's a thing.
wrote
That's
the beautiful
that's a
poem,
Vince thing. I'm sorry.
If You Knew My Father.
Oh God. Yep. Stunning.
If you knew the dad I knew, you'd know his tender heart. He'd never want to hurt his fans or family from the start. If you knew my father, you would know how hard he fought, and the way it brought a smile.
It
to
makes me
people
want to
light,
fart.
medium, and dark.
Ugh.
It's I hope we never part. Now say it right or pay the price.
Wow.
Yeah. Light, medium, and dark. But it's like
I bet she actually wrote that though.
nothing rhymes with fought. Nothing rhymes with dark. The whole end
My
of the
father's
poem is,
skin, it was so very orange.
his pythons are large, but his heart is much bigger. So don't be upset that he uses the word trigger.
Yeah. Do you think she composed that though?
Yeah, because
So at
it's-
least that's
it's
something.
horribly written.
Yeah, at least it's honest. At least we know that she didn't have a ghostwriter on this one, or maybe she did. What inspired her to like actually? You know what? I'm gonna rhyme. I'm gonna go rhyme. I think it'd be more powerful.
I think she fancies herself an artist with her whole like musical career.
Yeah. Oh, was that just the verse of one of her tracks?
Maybe it's her new song
That'd be
that she's
cool.
working on.
Wow. Okay, it works in a song. I'm sorry. Those lines, like I'd be like, oh yeah, what would the chorus be?
Maybe it could be like a club banger. If you knew the dad I knew, you'd know his tender heart. He'd never want to hurt his fans or family from the start. If you knew my father, you would know how hard he fought. Ain't no way it brought a smile to people, light, medium, and dark.
Just
Oh,
in the
we have a hit
club,
on-
everyone's just like, oh!
We have a
This
hit
is the
on our
crescendo
hands, man.
part.
This is our new theme song.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the world of
Man,
Hulk Hogan.
dude,
right
this
now.
is turning into a weekly segment.
I know. What's he gonna do next week? Kill himself?
No.
Kill
He's-
somebody else?
Yeah, man, this is just part 2 of a crazy saga. She should have said this is like part 4 at least.
Yeah,
Like
part
this is like
47.
Act 4. Like part 2, this is the transitional phase. This is his like midpoint here after the whole steroid trial. Joining the NWO, I mean, geez. Turning his back on the Hulkamaniacs.
Yeah, that wasn't part 2.
But God, that was so good. Man, that promo at Bash at the Beach where he's like, no,
yeah.
it was so real. Ugh.
Yeah.
And yeah, anyone that doesn't put Hulk Hogan in their top 5 of all time around our age is a fucking idiot.
He has to be in my top 5.
Top
of
5. Hulk
my
Hogan.
favorite wrestlers of
Oh,
all
fine.
time.
Most important then.
Like, okay, Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, and Ric Flair. They're the 3 most important wrestlers.
Yeah,
of all
exactly.
time, for
Yeah.
sure.
But to not even like appreciate him for what he did, and that exists. I used to do that. I used to be like, nah, I was
I
always a Bret Hart
appreciate
guy.
him for what he did.
Yeah.
He was important to the business.
Would you put Shawn Michaels above Hulk Hogan? I would not.
No way.
Right. Okay. Sorry. A lot of
Shawn
people
Michaels
would.
is a good wrestler, but he didn't draw.
He didn't change the business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Sorry I asked.
The only reason Shawn Michaels had a job or any other wrestler had a job in the 80s in WWF is because of Hulk Hogan.
All right. Just
Because
answer
of
yes or no. You don't have to
Hulkamania.
get angry about it.
Yeah, I do. Well,
I agree.
we've got a real Hogan-centric show because we watched what?
Well, let me tell you. The movies we've been reviewing lately, frankly, have not been great. Like, fair to say? Let's say.
Yeah.
So the Urn has decided on our behalf to select a made-for-TV movie. Because, I mean, if that doesn't start a streak of good fortune, I don't know what will. that made-for-TV movie was film number 51, right? Because
Yeah.
we did television last time. Film number 51 of 5,912, Assault on Devil's Island, starring Terry Hulk Hogan, Bolea.
And this is like around the time premiered before Starrcade 97 when he fought Sting.
Post NWO Hogan, barely. Right around the time.
This is a year after he turned heel.
And he plays an ultimate good guy, uber good guy in every way. There's not an immoral bone in his body.
He has hair.
He has this. I wonder if that was.
Whose choice was that?
Here's the thing. I wonder if, like, the table reads, they were trying to give it a little more energy. It's like, no, I mean, yeah, you do Tai Chi and stuff, but you're a warrior, man. You got to, like, give it some chutzpah, right? And he just,
I don't know.
hi,
man.
Mr. Brell. Hello. That they're like, all right, how do we work with this? He's very one-dimensional here, and he's, like, sad. He's like,
do you wish you
he's
had
droopy.
hair, Terry?
So, like, let's give him some, like, kind of surfer hair or something like that, you know? So he's like, I'm laid back, man. And that was really just his delivery in the open, I thought. Very one-dimensional in the beginning, and I thought it improved drastically as the movie went on.
You think so?
Yes, I did, because it was all action, 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 action. And when he's yelling and when he's in the heat of combat, he's a better performer.
This, to me, was the same old Terry.
No, yeah, but
It's like you watch it and you're like, where is the Hulkster? Where is the guy with all the charisma that
now
revolutionized the business?
Now, don't get me wrong.
Why can't that translate to the screen?
I'm putting that in the context of his other movies. Like, the open to this, you know, awful. Worst of the worst. So his
That
probably
weird
some
Tai
of his
Chi, knife throwing, bow staff.
yeah, this is
twirling.
probably worse than Santa with muscles on a performance level, I would say. And then it improves. Then it improves. So I'm not saying on a Hulk Hogan level, but like on a Terry Bollea level, you know.
I guess.
Why do you know what I do? I always flip-flop between Bollea and Bolea.
I don't know. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall of that Tai Chi scene, man. Like,
Yeah,
what was the director
Do you think he
saying
went like
to him?
full Tom Cruise and got like a trainer, like someone to help him, you know,
To learn,
learn the art and
I need some
secretly
Tai Chi
invest in-
movement.
or-
He probably
or
just
super-
had Brutus Beefcake read a Tai Chi book and tell him about
yeah,
it.
you flare your arms. Well, that's not a good impression of anybody, of anything. It's most importantly, it's not a good impression of me.
It was pretty interesting to see Hogan act alongside Carl Weathers.
It was because I was like, now there's an actor. Like,
Yeah,
oh
I mean,
my God, he
The
is
Carl
so
Weathers School
good.
of Acting.
There
Have
you go.
Seen Arrested Development?
Oh my gosh,
He was Tobias
I have.
Funke's
Yes.
teacher.
Yeah.
He taught him how to make a stew. You
Yep.
get the bones in there. You get a little onions, some carrots, potatoes. You got a stew going, baby.
Yep.
Yeah.
Charisma.
But to see them acting next to each other,
And he
I
was
can kind of see why Hogan just hates black people, because they just show him up every time.
Oh gosh.
This probably fueled his racial inclinations. His
I didn't
racist
think
inclinations.
I didn't think Billy Blanks showed him up. I thought that was a pretty balanced fight scene. It was an extended fight scene,
Well,
and I thought he and Hulk Hogan's stunt double looked good.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, it was a great scene between Billy Blanks and then some dude that is
Right.
shaped
But-
like Hulk Hogan.
But it looked like, you know, but from
Yeah.
the Hulk
And-
Hogan brand, you're like, oh, cool, I look cool in this scene. It didn't look like a stunt double at all.
Compared to Back in Action, I'd say Billy Blanks made a pretty good leap in his acting ability. Even though
Yeah.
he didn't have much to work with, he was a little more natural.
I think so too.
How would you... Okay, this movie's on the level of Back in Action. Is this better than Back in Action?
Yes. Yeah. I even have that written down. I think this is better.
I think Back in Action is better.
But only slightly. It's not. I don't know why. I guess I thought Back in Action
had Hot Rod.
Had
and
Hot Rod.
And that's the real, like, you compare Hot Rod and you compare Hogan. In the 2 action movies, Roddy did most of his stunts. He had the fight scene in the bar with Billy Blanks.
Yeah.
That was a hard-hitting, real-feeling fight scene because of him.
That's fine.
This Hulk Hogan couldn't even bother to do some fake-ass kicks. Like, why couldn't he do that? You're telling me he couldn't do some stretches, get a trainer, and throw a few lame-looking kicks?
Right, but we're not talking about the
Blanks?
performance, right? Obviously, Roddy Piper gave a better performance. We're talking about an all-around movie.
The all-around
And
movie, I still like Back in Action.
There was nothing about Back in Action that I enjoyed watching, and I enjoyed watching every scene with Carl Weathers.
I enjoyed Roddy Piper's relationship with that hot reporter.
Yeah. Out of sight, out of mind, I guess. Maybe I need to revisit this thought. But it's funny that it did. I mean, of course it did, because Billy Blanks is in this. It popped in my mind, and I made the choice yesterday when I saw this for some reason that this one's a little bit better, but I don't remember why. I mean, I guess because the shark attack scene was awesome.
The shark attack scene was good. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
They did a pretty good job with that. Seriously, they did.
Was,
like, no, I'm the no hyperbole audience. There's a shark attack scene that looks passable, where a shark is actually biting someone's side. It was,
but that's because
Hogan's
they got
character.
actual footage.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah,
and it's like
actual
it cut in
footage,
together nicely.
It looked good.
Yeah. So that's better than any scene.
You're right. You're right.
Like there was a cool shark number going on. Like he was afraid of sharks. Like, aren't we all? And then he had like a shark tooth around his neck.
And then he's like,
good luck.
I always knew a shark would do me in.
And he's wrapped post-surgery or whatever. He still has a freaking shark tooth in his wound.
Yeah.
She pulls it out like, oh, it's good luck. It's like, you got to fire that medic.
She being Shannon Tweed, who
this is what
is always in a bra and a man's shirt.
Yeah.
Like through a lot of this movie. Or just in her, like walking around in her underwear.
Yeah.
Do you remember her from, being like 13, 14 and watching like titty movies on Showtime?
Yeah, she had a familiar face.
She is like the Cinemax softcore queen.
Like everywhere.
Like that's
like the
what
perfect
she does.
softcore breasts. Like they don't move at all. There's perfect slender body, and this is in the 90s. No jiggling at all. Those nipples that kind of blend into the skin tone. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Not too veiny. Basically just kind of it lights nicely and it's flattering.
There's an episode of Married with Children.
Does anyone watch softcore porn anymore? Like
I don't know.
Would anyone do that?
Maybe
that was just the only option.
Maybe
as a kid.
That
was all we got.
I bet the most people that watch softcore porn are like kind of conservative people that like want to have like porn on while they're having sex or something.
It exists though,
but they don't want to turn on hardcore porn.
Okay,
that's too much
while
for
they're
my
together
wife.
though. Okay,
yeah.
Not in their own domain.
My wife can't watch full penetration.
Okay,
so I'm gonna put on the softcore porn and get her all.
So they're both in their own domain, jerking off to she-males getting butt fucked in the back of a car, like in a Suburban, right? You can't say she-male. I apologize. Transgender. I apologize.
The guy probably is.
Fine,
but
he's
trying
like
to shield his wife.
Right, and then once they converge, come together, they're not there yet. Watching it. Okay, so then it does have a purpose because it is like, ooh, that's bad. But then you just turn on Game of Thrones.
Well, anyway,
turn on Game of Thrones.
There was an episode of Married with Children with Shannon Tweed. Do you remember that?
Oh, not vividly, but that makes perfect sense.
Al
of course there is.
Al was. She plays herself, and Al was like.
Was that the one?
He was a big fan of hers, but then he kind of like makes fun of her for being like a Skinemax actress, and she totally cons him and fools him somehow.
Oh.
And then she's like, how's that for a titty movie actress or whatever?
Whoa.
And
Wait, was that the one where she was like flirting with him and was like, oh, your forearms are so strong? And then she said, oh, must be from flushing the toilet so many times.
something
It was
like
that and working out.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch it. When I was watching in this movie the abducted gymnast team, all I could think about was like, man, they're gonna just be standing in a pool of water for like days.
For like,
Think of how horrible that would be to just stand in a pool of water.
how long do you think
in
they
a
were in there
cage.
for? It was less than 24 hours, right? They got him right out.
Was it?
Huh.
Maybe
48 hours at
maybe
the most.
48. So imagine just standing in a pool up to your knees for 48 hours.
Wow.
What does that do to your feet?
Well, you could climb up the chains.
How long are
know,
you going to
up
climb
the cage?
up? How long are you going to climb up and just stand up
And then
there?
what I would do, I would hook my feet.
and go upside down?
Yeah, go upside down, get a little back decompression. You know,
Okay.
just balance it out and just be like, will you, if like I was one of the two dudes on the cheerleading squad, I'll be like, will you shut up? trying to decompress my back. That would be so horrifying. Oh my God. You'd be like, this took a crazy turn. Here we're in this championship round of this cheerleading contest in Miami. We're about to go to the Bahamas or whatever.
And now we're on this island.
And
in
now I'm going
this
to die
cage full
in
of
this
water.
scenario?
Yeah.
This is unbelievable, Brad. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Do you think Hogan's bitter for never being in any of the Expendables movies? Do you think he was just waiting for Sly to call?
Well, they're not officially done, are they? It's going to be going on forever until
I'm
they're
not sure.
dead.
They still haven't come out with a fourth one, or maybe they're working on it.
Sly, how are they? Is it amicable? Sly was like, dude, you do not have to be that violent on a movie set at Rocky 3. He was like, I went through surgery because of you.
Yeah.
Like, you're an asshole. Well, I just don't know my own strength. No,
He had
you're
to
an asshole.
He had to protect the business, brother.
There's no way he's getting on that movie over Sly's dead body is my guess. Like, do they text each other? There's probably no way. Sylvester Stallone respects the business, but he probably...
No, but didn't Steve Austin also hurt him in the first Expendables?
I
Maybe
heard that.
he's just not going to work with wrestlers anymore.
So then do you think he snapped a little bit?
I don't know. At least this
Get
movie...
over here. God damn. Yeah, I doubt it because I think we both heard that probably on Steve Austin's podcast, and he was like, man, I don't think he's ever going to call me because I feel really bad. I went a little bit too hard on this.
break his ribs or something.
And some of these guys just can't.
Man,
Man, my Steve Austin.
Yeah,
has
what
gone
happened, Steve?
down the tubes.
Where'd Steve
I don't
go?
break it
Is
out
he-
anymore.
Is he under the table?
Hey, Mike.
No, you
Thanks
lost
for
it.
setting it. Thanks for setting me up. Though. Hey,
At least
where's
this
Steve
movie-
Austin? Is he under the table? Oh,
At least
that's
this
sweet of
movie
you,
is
man.
short and simple. Like, it was over before I knew it.
Yeah, could you imagine watching it as it aired on TV? Because you could tell the
With the
fade outs
commercials?
when they do the commercials with the
So,
fade out.
okay.
Like, who's watching the 2-hour version on KTLA Channel 5 on a Sunday night? Like, no. After the movie, I'll go to bed.
So, when they aired this, they also aired during one of the commercials the Starcade press conference where Hogan and Sting have a confrontation
Yeah.
backstage at the MGM Grand Garden Arena.
Oh, and that was probably the last commercial break.
And apparently that was a huge spike in ratings.
Whoa.
And this was actually rated really well.
So this was TBS?
This was TNT.
TNT?
Yeah. I queued it up on the flick chart. Do you want to see where it stands?
Of course.
So a really interesting matchup for the first round. Assault on Devil's Island versus Squared Circle Cinema alumni Pain and Gain.
Oh, that one's easy.
Pain and Gain, of
Yeah.
course. Sophie's Choice. Yeah, Sophie Choice is better.
Well, that's that Super Salad movie, right?
Broken Flowers.
Oh, come on.
Broken
This
Flowers.
one is easy. What if it puts it up to back in it?
Bad Santa 2. Have you seen Bad Santa 2?
Yeah, it's great. Not as good as
Not
Bad
as good
Santa,
as
but
one.
a better movie
Then
than
Assault
this one.
on Devil's Island. Alien versus Predator.
Alien versus Predator. I mean, there's like cool sets in that movie.
Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. So this is the third one. I only like the first one.
I'm doing Assault on Devil's Island because this now is a more special movie to me.
But
that movie means nothing to me.
At World's End at least has like nice sets, a big budget, good special effects.
Yeah, all right, fine.
Assault on Devil's Island doesn't have that.
It's true. It also doesn't have the budget.
Battlefield Earth. The John Travolta Scientology movie. Have you seen it?
Yes,
I've seen
I
it.
have.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
I mean,
Okay,
Battlefield
that's
Earth's
a worse
more
movie
fun
because
to
that
make fun
movie
of,
didn't
though.
want to be bad. This movie didn't really care.
Yeah.
So you kind of
But
got to give it the nod.
What's like a more fun watch? Battlefield Earth or Assault on Devil's Island?
Battlefield Earth would be funner, although compared to that, I didn't find it fun sitting through Battlefield Earth when I saw it.
But now you can like
on an
throw it on.
ironic
You can
level
throw
even.
it on at a party and
You got
get
me
drunk and
You
make
got
fun
me
of
again.
it. I'm picking Battlefield
again.
Earth. Robots, the 2005 animated movie starring the voice of Robin Williams.
It's hard to
It's
draw.
like a low rent DreamWorks animated
Dude, could you imagine
computer animated
just
movie?
drawing all those pictures, though? Even on a computer, you got to draw. And
You
that's
pick
impressive.
robots?
Just anything animated
Okay.
is better than this. The first ever Mickey Mouse animation.
One of my least favorite movies, The
Steamboat.
Polar Express.
Wow. This is starting to really figure you out, man.
I'll still pick The Polar Express because at least they worked hard on it.
Yeah, wasn't Tom Hanks involved?
Okay, I hope this is the final round. Condemned 2 or Assault on Devil's Island.
Condemned. Ooh,
I'm saying Assault on Devil's Island.
yeah, man.
Condemned 2
Condemned
was
2
bad.
was more
At least
difficult.
Assault on Devil's Island has Carl Weathers and the villain from The Karate Kid.
That's funny. The Condemned 2 keeps coming up. Yeah.
So yes, Assault on Devil's Island, congratulations.
Martin
You
Cove.
beat Condemned 2. And you are film number 1302
Wow.
on
All right.
my flick chart.
We've done some adjusting here. So let's do your top 5 and your bottom 5.
My top 5 hasn't changed.
Okay. Bottom 5 changes every single time you engage with this.
Let's see.
It's
Bottom 5. The Polar Express at 5.
wow.
Assault on Devil's Island at 4.
Wow.
The Condemned 2 at 3. Wild Wild West at 2. And Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's funny
at
how
1.
it works. Because when it gets lower and lower, like, oh, shit. Oh, dude, he does not like this movie at all. All right, throw in the Condemned 2 then. Whoa, okay. So keep Condemned 2 down.
Yeah.
Because he liked this one more. So that's how it's working.
Yeah.
It's pretty accurate. You just got to keep doing it.
Yeah, you just have to keep like looking through the list to see if there's any horribly ranked movie that you need to fix.
If you did this once a day for the rest of your life, it would be 100% accurate.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll just sit like if I'm watching TV, I'll kind of have that on the laptop and just kind of rank movies on my list
Until you've like reached perfection. That
Yeah.
you can go down.
It could be pretty addicting, actually.
Yeah.
Flickchart.com. Not an ad.
I would get way too addicted. I'm only going to do it vicariously through you, but it is fun.
I'd give this a 2.1.
2.3 then. I got to go a little higher than you.
Fun facts. There's no real fun facts. The director of this went on to direct a bunch of episodes of 24 and has some Emmys. So
There's no
look at
fun
that.
facts for this.
No,
That's unfortunate.
But I did get a few things from the Wrestling Observer newsletter that came out on October 27th of 1997.
Okay, before we get into that, though, can we just go into the ending real quick? Like, what was, like, did I miss something? Are they all just going into their own security job or
They're
something?
all
Carl Weathers
joining-
wanted to start his own security job.
They're joining forces.
Okay,
Like, they're going to
under
have, like, their own, like,
special ops off
special
the radar.
wing. Like,
Okay.
they're like the A-team now, basically. You know, they're joining forces, and
I guess I was
yeah.
doing laundry. So, but no sequel, though. They're just setting up that
no,
sequel.
there is a sequel.
What?
It's like Assault on Devil's Mountain.
Oh, man.
I believe it's in the urn, so we'll see it eventually.
Assault on Devil's Canoe. Assault on...
Okay, so from the Observer, October 27th, 1997.
Okay.
This week, TNT is airing Hulk Hogan's new made-for-TV movie, Assault on Devil's Island. WWF has responded by putting together a Survivor Series flashback show, which will just be a highlight show of old Survivor Series clips. WWF has scheduled this show to air twice, both at the same times as Hulk Hogan's new movie will be airing. Eric Bischoff was clearly annoyed by this because he brought it up 3 times on Nitro, saying Vince McMahon is scared of Hogan's new movie.
Wow.
God, I love the pettiness.
Whoa.
So the Monday Night Wars were creeping into this stupid movie.
I love it.
Yeah.
How does this not make you appreciate this movie a little bit more?
Yeah.
Just a
I
little
mean,
bit more.
it's a part
Just
of
the way it was
wrestling history.
promoted and like the battle wages on.
So the movie did a 4.2 rating, which is pretty. I mean, Nitro was doing like between 5 and 8.
Yeah.
You know, in his heyday.
Mm-hmm.
And then like WWE went up until like I think like 10 or 12 was like their highest peak or something.
What a great time to be
But
alive.
it was one of the most watched made-for-TV movies ever on cable.
What?
Yeah, and they were thinking about making it into an ongoing TV series.
Even more than like Salem's Lot?
Yeah.
Frickin' Stephen King classic?
Because this was just promoted all over Nitro
What
at
the
its
hell?
hottest moment.
Okay, but we're not talking like Roots. I mean, because that was network TV.
That's network
But
TV. So
wow.
a made-for-TV cable
Man.
movie. Yeah. It's one of the highest rated of all time.
I wonder if Salem's Lot was actually network or cable.
The Stand was network, I remember. That was on
Yeah.
ABC. Same with It. A lot of the Stephen King series were on ABC.
Yeah, okay. So then that's why it was like, it was really good quality.
So I'm digging into the urn.
All right, it's your
for the
turn.
next film.
The streak continues. With
I
dropped
it.
his selection,
I
but he dropped
dropped
it back. He dropped the selection he was going to pick right back into the urn. I've never seen anything like that before.
Oh God. Oh my God.
Oh, God. What is it?
The next episode is a very special episode
For you or for me?
for both of us.
Oh, that's good to hear.
We'll be covering one of the most important movies of our lifetimes.
No way.
The movie that brings friends together. A movie that is just such a big part of our lives and so important to us. And that's Major League 2.
Oh, my God. I was like, are you going, if you go the mock route here, I'm going to be pissed because I'm really sucked in here and I'm really looking forward to, what this movie is. And thank God we got Jesse the Body Ventura in there just for a little snippet.
This is
I
a movie that we talk
love-
about more than any movie,
There is
really.
a chance that I've seen this movie more than any other movie.
Yeah, definitely watched it
I may
at
have
least
seen this more
once
than
a week
any other movie.
for an entire summer.
This Spaceballs Labyrinth. Never ending
So,
story. Like
yeah.
all time.
Major League 2, next episode. It'll be special, guys.
God, such is life, right? The urn was just like toying with us, putting us on this journey where we grew
Yeah.
a little bit.
And now the urn gave us a gift.
This is like the last scene in Groundhog Day, man. It's like,
So I'm Ryan the Muffler Bruckner saying, when you live by the book, brother, you'll die by the book.
And I'm Mike Big Tobacco Ryan saying if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, you people wouldn't be here.